Hey everybody, welcome into Gemstone Discoveries by gemstones.com. I'm Tom Joyce, graduate gemologist.
I'm Preston, certified gemologist.
Certified gemologist. See, it's all kinds of gemology in here. We're going to figure out how many times we can use the word gem
Oh,
just in the opening.
don't tempt me.
It'll be a gem of a show. So, with going with that, we're in Pearl Month right now, which is really exciting. It's June's birthstone. I think the other birthstone for June is alexandrite. I should have thought about getting some of that.
Ooh,
we still have
yeah.
some time left. We have some alexandrites. We can bring some alexandrite out here to show you.
We got some good ones too.
A little bit of wow factor, and surprisingly affordable. When everybody thinks alexandrite, they just think the highest high end, and
premium.
they're not wrong. But we have Brazilian alexandrite on the website. We have Russian alexandrite. There's all kinds of stuff. More stuff than we've ever had. But we'll go ahead and just get right in because we have pearls. That's what's so exciting. Pearls. Beautiful pearls. Nice luster, nice orient, everything that you want in a pearl. So what you're looking at here is a parcel. This is a cultured freshwater stick pearl parcel. So really beautiful stuff. What you see in front of you, it should be around 92 carats. And these do have really good orient on them. It's hard to see outside of in person, but as we're looking down on top of it, you really see really nice lavenders, greens, a lot of different color coming off these. And they're undrilled, so you can really do anything you want with them and get a nice pair of earrings made, pendant. There really is no stopping it. And the thing that I like about all these is they really just have great texture all around.
Yeah, these are really
lots
unique.
of different shapes.
I don't see a whole lot of these too. Like these are really interesting shape.
Yeah, something like these with the shape that it's grown in, because everybody thinks round when they see a cultured pearl. And as these come around, you can see that they have a lot of texture going across it. Pretty thick nacre all the way across these, and just really, really nice pieces overall. And in front of us, we see at least 15 to 20 pieces. Now, that will vary since it's done by weight, because you're going to have a little bit of heavier ones, maybe some lighter ones, but overall, it's going to be pretty consistent. But the count will change depending on what the weight is on all these.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I see what you were talking about, just like the iridescence that you see on some of these, and they're all a little bit different.
Yes.
Which is cool. It's a unique variety that you get in the parcel.
Yeah, and you will kind of even have a little bit of like a body tone to it that will change with each one.
Like an overall one. Like I see this one right here is a little more pinkish.
Yes.
This one's flat white kind of, and even some purpley ones right over here.
Yeah, there's really good color in almost all of these. There's a couple that seem like they're just a little bit opaque. Those are the biggest ones, but when you have a pearl that big, it's not going to be the same as all of the smaller ones that you'll see. It's really something special with cultured pearls, because cultured pearls are a time thing. You're fighting against time, and it's natural. So we're going to say natural. It's a natural process, but someone started that process. So with a cultured pearl, all they're doing is inserting a bead or an irritant inside of between the mollusk shell and the meat.
Yeah.
So then the shell is just like, get out of me, get out of me, get out of me, and it isolates that and covers it with nacre. So the thing with cultured pearls is sometimes you have to take them out and reinsert them in a different one.
Correct. There's nothing wrong with the
species.
cultured pearl at all.
No. Cultured pearls make pearls affordable. I heard one time a very high up person in the industry say they didn't like cultured pearls because now the maid was wearing the same thing you were wearing, and they didn't like it. So cultured pearls are great. It just, you get a lot of different shapes when you have to reinsert them a lot. So these are not from Tennessee, the ones in front of you. These are Chinese freshwater. We do have some Tennessee pearls coming up. So that's coming up just shortly.
Those are really cool.
Yes, ivory is considered an organic gem. It came from a living thing, so yes, that would be considered an organic. So we're going to stick on the cultured pearl. So we have a couple of different types of pearls that are in this show, and all of them we've worked really hard to get in here. It took a little bit of time because we get stuff in and we have to verify things, process, get images, get videos, everything that we need to get something onto the website. So this has kind of been a long time coming to get these. And the next one that we're going to show is also a cultured pearl, but it's a Tahitian. This is 1/6, Shane. So the cultured Tahitians, there's something people have seen a lot, and these are just slightly different in the sense of the luster is exceptional, the colors are very unique.
I loved, we were talking about this pearl a couple of days ago, and I loved the way you explained the color. How is the color explained?
So the way we're looking at this one is it's lavender with green overtones. So pretty much what you're seeing is that as you see that picture turn right there, you see the gray base, gray silver base, and then you see lavender is your first color that you see. And as that pearl will turn, you'll see that greenish overtone that just kind of rolls over the top of the pearl. Now this is on a special fancy pearl backing. It's a little tacky thing that's on there. But the thing that you should know is these do have blemishes, very, very small, slight blemishes. I can see one, the light is reflecting on it right now, the middle light. So it's not that they don't have blemishes, but the other side does not have a blemish. So these are undrilled, completely undrilled. If this were something you were going to purchase, if you drill it, you own it. That's just how it goes. A lot of the value of this comes from the luster, the color, and that it's undrilled. So if you were going to drill this and decided, oh, I drilled it and it's something that I don't like anymore, that's just kind of how it shakes and breaks, because it would be almost impossible to sell it. That's where you just say, I'm going to mount it and see if I can sell it as a piece of jewelry.
But for being something that's just formed naturally from a mollusk, just having as much blemish as it does, or as little blemish as it does, is actually very impressive.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about pearls when you're evaluating pearls. You want to make sure that you have a face-up side that doesn't have a blemish. There's a price point for everything, so you'll accept blemishes depending on the price point that you're going to sell something for, or even what you're going to pay for. Depending on what you're willing to pay for something, that would be how you determine, is this blemish okay? On something this high end, you're going to roll it around and really see. But the great thing about this too is on the back of it, you even have a lot of the information. And this is trade information, but this is something that we really wanted to leave on because it lets you know everything. Excellent luster, rare lavender. And that's the thing. That's what kind of drives the prices on these, that a lot of Tahitian pearls that you'll see are going to be just a flat silver. You're not really going to see that peacock or pistachio color. But on something like this, it really stands out. So they're going to list that. And it's a really big deal.
If I were to purchase this pearl, I'm a collector mainly, but I would keep it on that plate because it's very rare that you get all of that information with the gem that you purchase.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're kind of left to your own devices to figure out like size and like, is that an excellent luster,
Yeah. Well, and the good thing about it too is if you're out ever buying again, all dealers and all buyers, they either have a pocket stone that they carry with them that is their perfect specimen. A lot of dealers really do it. But someone like Jay Boyle or George have their pocket stone in their mind, and that's their baseline. I paid this much for this stone this year.
When you do it for so long.
Yeah, but this one's great that if you were going to buy another pearl, then you at least have all that information and go, okay, I know this is excellent luster, this is the color. It really is almost a cheat sheet just built in. So that is a really nice tool to have and just an absolutely gorgeous gorgeous piece. And if you're ever looking for finished jewelry pieces, if you go to jtv.com/extra, I believe it's on Wednesdays at 6:30. The best pearl buyer in the world, Shauna, has a show with Mark Brown. Wednesday at 6, I apologize, and that's Eastern time. And they're showing really nice, unique, one-of-a-kind finished pearl jewelry. Yes, and it is higher end stuff. It's stuff that you really cherish and pass down. So make sure to watch that because Shauna really knows what she's doing with pearls. I was just on the phone with her before this started just to get my information in a line because I'm a colored stone guy for the most part. So we have another cultured pearl coming up, another cultured Tahitian. And this one is a 12 millimeter round. And I'm going to pick it up real quick because I need to read what it says. I only had one side. And it is a green and lavender. So this one is just a little bit different. They're not saying the overtones on this one.
That's so unique. When you look at it up close, you see kind of just half of the rainbow just going around the side of it. It's not the full spectrum, but you can kind of see like I see the purple, the green, and then it goes to blue.
Yeah.
Which is gorgeous.
And if you really want to see really, really nice pictures, there should be some links dropping in. If you click on one of those links and then just hit the back button or just search loose pearls on the website, you're going to see fantastic pictures that really highlight these. Our imaging department had them for over a month, making sure to get these with the least amount of reflections that they can, because it's something round. As you see this turn, you're seeing reflections from everything. We're on the roof on Friday in the sun, and as Preston was holding it up to show it, we could see the reflection of his fingers.
We could see my whole body.
We could see everything. Yeah. So these really are excellent luster. It just really, really crisp, which has a lot to do with the water that it grows in. The whole thing with cultured pearls is really, it's getting ready to change, just because as water temperatures rise, you're no longer having that water to grow these pearls in. They just won't survive.
That's right.
And if they do survive, you're not going to get luster that's this nice, because I believe it's the cooler the water, the crisper the luster. So we're kind of here, you know, in a crossroads of sorts with pearls. The vendor who we got these from, I was speaking to him, and they're basically like, South Sea pearls are done.
Wow.
That's what they're saying. That's correct, Shane. They said that they went to the Hong Kong show, and when South Sea pearls would normally have 3 to 4 auctions a year, they're only having one, and it's only for ultra high end. So South Sea pearls are ones to watch. If you can get a good price on them, it really is a time to buy. It is a full rainbow of colors. It really is, and there's some on the website that are black that really have good rainbow colors around them. It's almost like an oil slick that goes over.
Almost amplifies that iridescence.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do the Tennessee pearl next, because
this one's awesome.
You know, we were talking about you know, rarity when it comes to alexandrites, and alexandrite's very rare. When you think Brazilian alexandrite, extremely rare, because it's just not being mined anymore. So Tennessee pearl is more rare than that. It's very hard to get something that, you know, is still being mined, that has a good enough luster that you want to get it set and made up. And it just, sorry Shane, I'm trying to help you there. So it's just something that you still can find Tennessee pearls. It's not uncommon to find a Tennessee pearl. But once you get it out of that mollusk, out of that shell, you're going to look at it and it's going to be not attractive at all. Like, even natural pearls, like if you're out at your favorite restaurant eating oysters, it wouldn't be uncommon for you to find a pearl inside of it.
That would be exciting.
It's unbleached. It's going to be disgusting looking. It just is what it is. So
it's going to have a little smell.
Yes, a lot has to happen to make a pearl attractive once it's harvested. Now, this is completely natural. This is from Middle West Tennessee, from Camden, Tennessee, and this is harvested out of the Tennessee River. So at a time, we had talked about this on Friday, about 20 miles from here is Clinton, Tennessee, and Clinton, Tennessee was Pearl City. It was the major hub for a marketplace of natural Tennessee pearls. Tennessee pearls are still, like, I think it's 90% of seed pearls come from Tennessee.
Yeah, something
so
around that.
It's still happening. They're just small enough that nothing's going to happen. So what happened? Why are there no more Tennessee pearls? Is it ecological stuff?
Beats me.
It's more, we wanted everyone to have electricity. So the TWA came in, they flooded the valley, and it lowered the temperature of all the water, and the mollusks couldn't survive.
That's sad.
And there is really good information about it. If you go to gemstones.com or jtv.com and you search American Pearl, you're going to see an interview from the lady who goes into the river, finds the mollusk, and finds the pearls. So it's really exciting Tennessee pearls.
And what's cool about this here, Tom was talking about how rare this is, because normally your idea of a pearl is this spherical, pearly white thing, but this is how they are naturally formed.
Yes.
Those round pearls are mostly, they have a round bead nucleus on the inside of it.
Yes.
Whereas this maybe has a grain of sand in the center of it. It
Yeah.
might have a piece of dirt. We don't know exactly.
Yeah, there's really no telling what could have started this, but that shape, it's really unique.
Yeah.
Like, round is great, but these still have really good shapes to them and really unique shapes. So one of the things that they define them as is wings. We had one yesterday sold that we're calling a rosebud. Like, they're really, really good. And there's already people in comments that are saying, you know, that they've already bought some. Like,
wow.
Not surprising. We knew these were going to go fast.
And we mentioned this earlier, or you mentioned this earlier. This would make an amazing pair of earrings. Mm-hmm. It's the perfect size for a lobe.
And these as well are undrilled. So it's something that you drill it, you buy it. But these are really nice that with the shape and as small as they are, you would be able to really just get a straight glue back on it, mm-hmm. or get just small prongs that would go over to secure it. And another good thing, like we showed on the last one,
important,
handwritten, detailed information about where it came from, what the shape is, what the carat weight is, all the measurements. So you have this stuff, origin, Tennessee, Missouri, Ohio rivers, all those feed into each other. Mm-hmm. So that's why they say it. Just because it was found in Tennessee does not mean that it originated in Tennessee.
Correct.
It's almost like an alluvial diamond or an alluvial
going
sapphire.
Down the river on its journey.
Yeah, speaking of alluvial sapphires, I'm fascinated with the idea that they're building a vacuum.
What?
To vacuum the bottom of the ocean for all the diamond rough that made it out of the river into the ocean. Get me on that boat. I want to be on the vacuum boat. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been functioning for a little bit.
Don't tempt me.
Fascinating stuff.
Don't tempt me.
I don't think they'll let us on there, Preston.
Well, I'm a good sneaker.
You're a good sneaker?
I can sneak. I took Kung Fu when I was very young, so I can kind of
I think you have a black belt in pulling my leg. So that was our last Tennessee Pearl, but please go to the website because there are a lot of, if they let you have them, I know Barbara bought some, I know Gabi bought some, so if they're going to let you buy some still, go and look because they really are unique. Mm-hmm. And definitely watch that video because that's the biggest thing about all of this stuff with gemstones. And you know, I'm 21 years in the business. I know Preston's been here a while. I just met him about 2 weeks ago. But you're always learning something. There's always something to learn about all this stuff. Always. And that is, I knew very little about Tennessee pearls, mm-hmm. except they were really popular in the 80s with pink ice here in Tennessee. Yeah. And because my wife told me all about it. If you had a Tennessee pearl or a pink ice necklace, you were big time. You were stepping in high cotton as you were walking around middle school. So get as educated as you can on it because it really is fascinating. So last week, people were asking us about emeralds because that's the great thing about live chats and all this stuff, or you know, even if you rewatch it. If there's something you want to see, just let us know because we finish the show, go right back to my desk, and I start pulling product. So if there's something you want to see on here, we can get it out here.
Absolutely, anytime. Just put any gemstone you want to see in the comments. You can put them in the TikTok comments. You can put them in the YouTube comments because we love showing you what you want to see, and we also love having a reason to pull really nice things.
Yeah, exactly. Because kind of how it goes is this one was Pearl Month, a request, and then we kind of always try to finish it with some sort of eye candy that might be either a high quality specimen or piece from that variety we're talking about, or it could just be something that is so rare that why wouldn't we bring it out here so everybody could see it? And that's what we have this week.
Oh, I love this.
So this first emerald that we're going to show, it's got really nice, really good saturation bluish green color to it. Ron, I can get opals for the next show. I don't have any out here with me, but we could do opals. That's not a problem at all. That would actually be quite fun. So this one is a 7x5mm oval and it's a 75-point stone. So it's got that really nice saturation of color with it, you know, almost that Kelly green. So I think this color really is because of the location that it comes from. That's really, I think, what makes this stand out. A lot of times on Colombian material, you're going to see that lighter bluish green color to the yellowish green, but this one is the bluish green. And also, you have a calibrated stone. That's also an indication of the locale that it comes from. So this is a Zambian emerald. A lot of times on the Colombian emeralds or even Brazilian emeralds, you don't see a lot of calibrated stones in it because the way the crystal grows in the ground is it kind of grows at a point and it'll just stop. And then it'll drop down about 50 to 100 feet and start growing again in the same path.
Okay.
So once they hit that end of that vein, they just go about 10, 15 feet up and say, all right, drill further down. Just go a little bit further down, they start getting it. So when you have that break and you have smaller crystals, you don't make calibrated stones. You're maximizing color. So that's why Colombian emeralds, you're not seeing as much calibrated sizes. If you see a calibrated size in a Colombian emerald, you had a huge piece of rough and they knew exactly what they were doing when they cut it. So that's kind of the thing.
I would love. Let's talk about this color real quick, because this color is phenomenal. This is such a candy green. When I look at this stone, what pops directly into my head is a hydrothermal synthetic emerald color. So synthetics are made to imitate the best of their natural counterparts. We're getting that color here, but this is a natural stone.
Yeah, absolutely natural.
We're getting the best of the best color you can get, but in a natural stone.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. Like on that shot that Shane has, the still shot, you can see, well, still it's moving, but it's in frame. You can see inclusions in that. So inclusions aren't always like the only indicator to tell you that you have a natural stone, because even some of those inclusions, like if you had a flux grown, you would see the flux that would look like a natural fingerprint, or liquid inclusions that go. That's a great thing about getting a loupe and a microscope. That's where it gets more fun, as you start looking for two-phase inclusions or pyrite crystals, salt crystals, all kinds of things that let you know you have a natural stone.
I will say this looks like it has a ton of chromium in it.
Yes.
Do you know if it fluoresces at all? Or I know it will probably light up in a Chelsea color filter.
Yes, it definitely
I'm
would.
just curious.
Oh, wow.
That's
actually,
an interesting.
Yeah, it actually does a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, always have a UV light handy. You just never know.
Always got to check.
I have a really great a flux grown emerald. When I worked in QC, I had to look at natural and synthetic stones to make sure that what it was is what we're saying it was. The treatment was correct. So luck of the draw, I pull one out of the bag and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why am I seeing a reflection like this? It still had a platinum rod going through the stone on the table and coming out of the bottom. It curved on the inside.
What?
And they weren't even paying attention and they polished it. So it's flat surface, metallic sheen, platinum rod inside. So I was like, well, I'm buying this ring. I have to. Because how often do you see that? So really on maybe a $9 stone, I don't know how much platinum's in it, but increase the value.
It made it unique.
Yeah,
too.
sometimes the inclusion is going to make the value go up quite a bit.
But emeralds are always going to have tons of inclusions. It's kind of what defines them as emeralds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's chromium and inclusions. So
Jordan.
the emerald cab, milky green to white, is that what that says? I see a heart down there, so I don't see it all the way. But this is a really nice Zambian emerald, and we're really lucky that we have multiple locales today. And that was something that it was intentional when I was picking stuff for the show, because I wanted to show it from everywhere. The only one that I didn't pull is some Afghani emerald. And Afghani emerald that's really rare. You could tell by Preston's reaction. That's one that they're really small sizes. It's newer production. So out of all the emerald locales that are out there, I would say that Afghani is probably the newest. So a lot of times, two things happen when you have a new run of anything: is they're really small and they're really poor quality. Well, thankfully, you only have one of those with Afghani. They're really high quality, but they're really small. So hopefully, the more that they look, they're going to find bigger pieces, and it's really one that you just kind of got to watch, because they're a really great collector's stone.
These are very, very clean from my point of view here.
Yeah, these are really clean stones. And also they have really good crystal, and you can just tell by just that surface luster and the light coming back out of it. Now this is a set of two. It's a 5x4 millimeter oval, and the total weight on them is 65 points. So I'll hold one of these up to my hand just because it's a good indicator of size, and I'll also put it up next to a ruler as well, so you can see.
As you can see, as we go through some of these emeralds, they've got there are differences between them. And like you were saying earlier, that locality plays a big part in how the emerald looks. They're all, made of the same thing. They're all beryllium, aluminum, silicate, but based on the localities, they'll have different inclusions, they'll have different color saturations, just a little thing to separate them from each other. And that's what I love about emerald.
Yeah, yeah, and it really is. So, you know, this says matched pair. So as it's on the turntable, you're probably looking at it and you're like, how is this a matched pair? They're not cut the same. They look so different. So the matched pair comes from when they're face up at you, they're giving you the same color. They have the same clarity. They're not going to look the same on the bottom because on a colored stone, you're going to cut it differently each time. Perfectly calibrated and 100% matched pieces really are, they're just going to skyrocket in value because it's so rare. Jasper, I looked at your comment where it says they don't carry a good value for the cultured pearl. No, they still carry quite a bit of value because what you're paying for, especially with something like these, is the exceptional luster and the color variations in them. A cultured pearl just makes it far more affordable for everyone to own. It's almost like a, it's not even like a synthetic stone because the synthetic stone has all the exact same properties of that stone, but it was grown in a controlled environment.
Exactly. You're trusting a natural process by an animal pretty much to create this. Even though we can put a perfectly spherical bead inside of a mollusk, that doesn't necessarily mean that the mollusk is going to evenly coat the nacre all around the entire bead. So these premium ones, they are beautiful, even though they're made by this natural process.
And they're really 1 in a million. Like you would have to sort through years and years and years. And the way we got these, oh, I hit my mic, sorry if that popped on anybody. The way that we got these was the person that we got them from says, I can only sell them 1 time a year. You can have them the rest of the time.
Wow.
So he only has the ability and the clientele to purchase them 1 time a year. So we'll have these until probably beginning of January, if they're still available. And fingers crossed, they're not. So, and that's also the thing is, a synthetic stone is grown in a controlled environment. These aren't in a controlled environment. If you have a shock wave come through the water, if you have a bacteria infection, anything like that, it's going to destroy your whole crop, and you could lose everything. So a lot goes into making cultured pearls. So even though it's grown by man, or it's started by man, we'll say that it's not grown by man. It's still a very unique thing, and it does hold value. So, because you still have anomalies like cerclay, you'll have that happen. You'll have baroque. So, if you don't know what cerclay is, it's the rings that go around. It's almost like an indentation. I like those. I think they're really unique.
I have right now I have like a fistful of cultured pearls at my desk right now, and none of them come remotely close to as spherical as the ones we just showed.
No, when these all came in, I took them up to like our Friday meeting, and I was like, okay, everybody have a look, and everyone's like, how much is this one? How much is? They're trying to buy them. It's like, no. We bring this stuff in for customers, not for us. You get 6 months after it's out there.
That's why I don't even want you to show me.
Yeah. So the last emerald that we're going to have now, this is a Colombian emerald. And you can see that with the color. The color really, you know, it tells you Colombian. And this is 1.5 carats. So also in the description, it says millimeter varies oval. So that goes back to what I was talking about. Your millimeter is going to vary on it because of the crystal size. When they went to cut it, they're just maximizing what they can get out of it. Everything's sold by weight, so that's what they're gonna try to meet, is that weight. So as this one, as you see it, and the color is just, man, gorgeous. Really good transparency. It's not cloudy at all. It's not opaque at all. It's just a really, really nice stone. And it is big.
This is also one of those premium localities for emerald. You ask anyone in the gem trade, you say, where does emerald come from? One of the first things they may say, Colombia.
Colombia.
Some of the best premium stuff comes from Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia or Brazil. Those are the two go-tos that everybody has. And that's what's so exciting about Zambian, with great color, good saturation, and even Afghani. This is like a great example of why I always say, I don't like saying something's mined out, because it's all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
So we haven't found it yet.
We have only touched the surface of the Earth's crust.
Exactly. I was reading some stuff about tanzanite, and they said that they're almost a mile into the ground.
I bet
and they're
it's
still
really
looking.
hot down there.
Oh yeah. So the last thing that we're going to show you, we're going rare. So we want to show you something rare.
Ooh.
So you know, you're going to see this as Shane pops it up on here. So this is a stone that has an optical property, a unique optical property. So the stone's not rare, the cut's certainly not rare, but asterism on this stone is extremely rare. So any guesses what we have here? Because with the color, you're almost thinking it might be a moonstone, star moonstone.
It
That's
does
not
look
rare.
very, yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, that is not rare at all. And I'll just give some details on it because in case anybody wants to make some guesses in the chats, they can do that as well. So this is a 61.31 carat oval. It's a cabochon.
That's big.
That's a really big stone. It's a 20.56 by 14.11. So a lot of times, even when you see this stone, if it does have asterism, the asterism that you're going to see is a 4-rayed star.
Yeah.
That's pretty common to what you see. A lot of star sapphires, star rubies, they have 6-ray stars. This one generally doesn't. So what you're seeing in this one, this is actually scheelite. So scheelite is a softer stone. So to even cut this, how they do it.
Yeah, you got to be experienced.
How big was the piece, you know, before they started? And this is one that has like tungsten in it. You usually find it with tin. Sometimes it's associated with gold. So this is a really nice thing that gets tossed to the side a lot because tin's going to be more valuable than this. Gold is going to be far more valuable than this. So you have to thank miners, you have to thank geologists who work at some of these mines where this wasn't what they were looking for, but they had the presence of mind to say, hey, that looked like a pretty nice crystal of whatever it is. I'm going to take that back and find it.
This is so cool. This is one of those stones that, like, you show it to like a gem geek, and we're just going to have a cheesy smile because I'll admit, I didn't even know that scheelite could have asterism, and then you told me. Yeah. And now it's on the screen right now. And I'm just like, that's so cool.
Well, and that's what's kind of fun is one of the partners that we work with has a lot of really rare stones: painites, taphites, powellite, wolfenite, all kinds of things you normally wouldn't see faceted. If you're a mineral person, they have faceted cinnabar, faceted crocowite, which if you've seen a crocowite blade, who took the time to facet it? It really is just unique faceted sodalites, everything. You know what, Barbara? We did hit it with a UV. It didn't fluoresce. So,
not this time.
Yeah, not all of them will. Now, I am going to take it and put it in a box to see if the other wavelength will do it. But this one did not. That was the first thing I tried when we came in. So this is just an example of the rare. I believe the hardness is a 4.5. So it's not hard at all.
That's close to fluorite.
Yeah, it's one. Well, and that's another mineral that's found in association with this. So they all go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Everything works together. So that's going to be the last stone that we're going to show. Always leave in the comments. There's JTV Extra at jtv.com. I'm at JTV_Tom Joyce on Instagram. Let us know what you want to see next. We're going to have opal. That's definitely going to come. We'll see what else you want. I'll wait a couple of days and see what the comments say and get this pulled because we want to get in front of you what you want to see and what you want to learn about.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching.
See ya.